I pledge allegiance to the Workhorse electric vans, which are made in the United States of America. And because it went public, I can buy shares to add to my long-term portfolio. Every dip is a gift from God and made divisible through fractional shares available for all. Today, I'm bringing you more updates on one of my favorite stocks. Yes, we're talking about Workhorse, and the thumbnail you're looking at is not clickbait. In this video, I'm going to be telling you the latest Workhorse news, which does include Louis DeJoy, the Postmaster General, asking for new delivery trucks. But we will also be talking about USPS funding and much more. And we're going to be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your wealth through investing and trading stocks in the market, make sure you start right now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss a thing. I'll see you in the video. Let's go. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and in case you're watching this video a little late, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Workhorse video. I'm going to provide you with the latest and greatest updates today, and we're going to be moving pretty fast. But before we get into new updates, let's update a piece of old news. As I'm sure you've heard me tell you before, the USPS contract was expected to be awarded by the end of the fiscal year, which would mean by September 30th. However, I found an article today which sources trucks.com in stating that the USPS told them a decision would be made by the end of the calendar year. This would make it December before we actually get a decision on the award, which means about 3 extra months for a winner to be picked. I am not sure how accurate this is, but I did want everybody to be aware. And should this take as long as December or until December, I would take it as good news because this will give you additional time, 3 months of additional time, in order to raise additional funds, which you can invest into the shares. So don't be upset. Take this as good news. I definitely will. But, you know, it could happen sooner. We don't know. So just keep that in mind. And now back to the topic at hand. The first item on our agenda today involves the Postmaster General, which is Louis DeJoy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It could be Louis or something like that, but we're going to say Louis DeJoy. So essentially, the Postmaster General position is the equivalent of what the CEO position would be to a normal company. I'd like to call your attention to 3 points which I've made in my previous videos. So number 1, Trump put DeJoy in this position. Number 2, Trump wants Workhorse to get this USPS contract. He needs Workhorse to get this contract in order to bring jobs to Ohio, which will help him bag a win over this swing state and ultimately secure the election for him. Number 3, Louis DeJoy is in cahoots with old Trumpy. He is a Trump supporter that has previously made large contributions to Trump's campaigns, or in other words, donations. On August 7th, DeJoy spoke at the USPS Board of Governors meeting and admitted to having a close relationship with the president, which is exactly what I wanted to hear. That confirmation right there let me know that Trump put the right people in place that will get that USPS contract awarded to Workhorse, okay? The second point on this that I need to make is that he brings up the new delivery vehicles and stresses how vital it is that they get the new vehicles. He says at the same time there's a critical need to make capital investments in order to ensure effective and efficient operations and meet the needs of the American people. And the statement that I'm referring to specifically is, most vitally, we need to invest in new delivery vehicles so that our letter carriers can safely serve the American people and we can participate in the growth of the new economy. Now, he brings up the safety of USPS employees, which is a valid point considering that 164 of the current fleet's vehicles have caught fire. And another point he makes has to do with the efficiency and sustainability of the USPS. So in a nutshell, he basically states that changes to the infrastructure are necessary in order for the USPS to save money, which Workhorse EVs would cut their annual expenses down by $1 billion, which equates to about half of the expenses tied to the delivery vehicles that USPS has to pay each year. Now, the final piece of information that I need to mention, the Joy also says that an agreement was negotiated regarding the $10 billion that was made available through the CARES Act. Now, this is just a loan and has to be paid back with interest, but nonetheless, it still gives the USPS funds that can go towards them being able to possibly put towards updating their infrastructure. And to comment on this very quickly, I've told you in previous videos that government contracts are funded prior to them ever being open for bidding. However, it has also been mentioned that this project of replacing the old fleet will include orders that span over a 5 to 7 year period. So I've also mentioned in one of my last videos that the USPS was testing autonomous vehicles and asked the competing contenders to provide prototypes. That being said, I can't help but wonder if part of the reason that this contract will take 5 to 7 years is because the USPS will be wanting new features added with each order. This would align with the Joy's statements, which describe a lot of new changes to the infrastructure and constant improvement in order to drastically cut down on costs and make the USPS more efficient. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that if the USPS does ask for additional features or capabilities out of these vehicles, then of course the cost will be more. So this $10 billion loan may go towards that and pretty much benefit Workhorse even more. But before you get ahead of yourself, don't forget this is just my personal thoughts and speculation on the matter. More like wishful thinking, so none of this at all may happen. So I'm going to conclude this section with that, and we're going to move on to our next piece of news, which is very exciting. Well, it may not be as exciting for you as it is for me, but you should be very excited because from a financial perspective, the update I'm about to provide should serve as evidence that you should be extremely bullish on Workhorse. Cathie Wood, my favorite investor, and of course the CEO of Ark Invest, bought even more shares of Workhorse. Now, if it seems like just 3 or 4 days ago since I last published a video about Cathie Wood buying more shares of Workhorse, that's because 3 or 4 days ago I did publish my last video about Cathie Wood buying more Workhorse. And now I'm having to deliver the same news again because it seems that Miss Wood is addicted to buying Workhorse. Let this be a lesson to all of the panic sellers. While you sell on a minor drop, Cathie Wood buys your dip. Does that make sense? If not, then tell me if this does. Just a few days ago, Ark Invest owned around 480,000 shares. Today, as you can see, the number is 547,000 plus, which means over 67,000 shares were just purchased by Ark Invest. All I can say at this point is wow. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of the video. If you found this video helpful, I ask that you help this channel out by smashing that like button, as it motivates me to keep making videos just like this one every single day. If you're not a subscriber, you should consider subscribing, as I publish valuable content like this daily. You can do so from your screen right now, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can click on the video that you'd like to see on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.